Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69 and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to look at the Kenny Otsu versus the Kenny. It was a video requested by Fizzy, who is with us. We're going to talk to him straight after we look at the stats. So the DPM on the Kenny Otsu is much better than the Kenny, Kenny, whatever you want to call it. 1944. That's over 800 more than the Kenny, or the not so good one. The penetration is more on the Kenny, and the alpha is more as well, but of course the rate of fire is much less. Shell velocity is much better on the Kenny, and so is the aim time, and the gun depression is 14 degrees compared to the Kenny Otsu, which is 11. Obviously the credit coefficient is much more on the Otsu, but other than that, everything is pretty much the same armor wise. Believe it or not, the players playing it are very similar. I mean, 118 on the Kenny Otsu compared to 169 on the Kenny, but the Kenny stats is a little bit better. So that is the stats. Everyone thinks the Kenny Otsu is completely broken, one of the most broken tanks in the game. Once upon a time, yes it was, but the Kenny now, it's a collectible tank. So Fizzy, hello.
Hello.
I thought you'd gone. So
no, I hit the wrong button.
you prefer the Kenny over the Kenny, don't you?
I do, yeah.
Now, you got me to play the Kenny or Kenny, I don't know what you call it. And I'm still preferring the Kenny Otsu, mainly because of that DPM. But having ace in playing the tanks, I mean, both are very easy to ace. The Kenny Otsu was the easiest tank to ace in the game because no one's playing it, and the same as the other Kenny. I went to play it, I played it 3 games and I aced it 3 games, so it's very easy. But why do you prefer the Kenny over the Kenny Otsu? Like,
well, if you think about it, DPM's worth absolutely nothing if you can't penetrate the armor. So even though you have DPM, if you can't actually pen, it's absolutely worthless to you. That's
true. The pen is much better on the Kenny, the collectible Kenny, but yeah. I mean, if you switch to the premium AP on the Kenny Otsu, you're still getting much more DPM than the other Kenny. So, and the gun depression is much better on the Kenny. Oh, I don't. What is it? Is it a Kenny or is it a Kenny?
It's the Kenny.
Is it the Kenny? We're going to call it the Kenny and the Kenny. Kenny and Kenny. And so the gun depression. I mean, 14 degrees compared to 11. It is much better on the gun depression. But I think the Kenny Otsu as well. I mean, it's worthless, but I think the Otsu is like one of the only tanks in tier 3 that has HE.
I think it is the apart from the T82. I think it's the only one.
Whereas the Kenny doesn't have that. So, but to be honest, I don't think I've really ever shot HE in a Kenny Otsu because the pen is so bad.
Yeah.
But both are fun tanks. They are fun tanks. But when you are against tier 4, I mean, people do say that the Kenny Otsu is the most broke tank in the game. I mean, apart from the Smasher, of course, then yeah, the Kenny is broke. But when you come up against tier 4s, I mean, you can't pen nothing. Is that the same really with the Kenny? Do you struggle penning tier 4s in that as much as you do the Kenny?
After switching to Pramo, no, it's fine. I think you can pen inside of Matilda now since they buffed it. They buffed the Kenny. Now that they buffed it, it helps a lot, I think.
And I think that's the difference. That's the difference with, I mean, the Kenny used to be completely OP. I mean, yeah, it's still OP. I'm not going to lie. It's still broken as such. But a lot of people, and it's not just you, a lot of people, anti-tank, loads of people are now saying that the Kenny is much better than the Kenny Otsu. I still don't agree with that. I mean, having played both, hello, Manto Aja, thank you for subscribing and ruining the video. I still don't agree. I still think the Kenny Otsu is better, just because of that DPM. That DPM, I mean, when you're top tier especially, the DPM is, I mean, it is such a thing. When you are against tier 4s, and yeah, the DPM doesn't mean as much, but when you're top tier, it does mean something, especially when you're up against players that don't know how to play as such.
Yeah,
players
true.
that don't know the Kenny Otsu, who haven't been around long enough. They don't know the Kenny Otsu. But having said that, I've still played the Kini, and it is still a fantastic tank. And thanks to your recommendations, I'm definitely going to get the tank back. It is a collectible tank, and what is it? It's going to cost me 50 gold? Or
50 gold, yeah.
I mean, why not? I don't have the Kenny Otsu on my account, so the next best thing is the Kini. Like, why not? Because it is a good tank. It is still a good tank, and apart from the Kenny Otsu, it could probably be one of the best tanks in tier 3. It's an enjoyable tank to play. Proper seal clubbing tank. It is a seal clubbing tank. I don't know how often you play it.
Not that much.
How many aces do you have in it? Do you know how many aces?
89.
Oof. And I know, what's his name? Someone on my server is literally trying to get this tank to Joe. No, yeah, not Joe, sorry, Tom. Tom. He's trying to get this tank to 100 battles. I mean, he was very close, and he was almost ranked number 1. I don't know how he's getting on, but it is a fun tank. They're both fun tanks. They're both proper seal clubbing tanks. And I mean, we've just had a little bit of fun in the Kenny and the Kenny Otsu platoon. I mean, you would ace it one game, I would ace it another game, and we have got a battle here after this battle we're showing now, and this battle is with the Kini. You can see that, I mean, it's only got the 2 shells, but we've still done 131 damage there to the Chiha. And the reload, I mean, the reload's still good at, what is it, 6.5 seconds? 6 seconds?
6.4 around
6.4 seconds. So the reload's still not too bad. And this is pretty much what the Kenny Otsu should have been before they broke the goddamn thing. Actually, the Kenny Otsu should be worse than this. I'm pretty sure it should have been a 9-second reload, if I remember correctly, but Wargaming done it as what, a 2.5 second.
Yeah, they put in a few wrong numbers and messed it up.
Yeah, so that's a big difference. I mean, 2.5 seconds for your whole magazine, and it was supposed to be something like 9 seconds. That's a big difference. That's a big difference. So the Kini, even though it has 2 shells and it's 6.4 seconds, it's still a fantastic tank. But I do still prefer the Kenny Otsu over this, even though I haven't got the Kenny. Even though I haven't got the Kenny, but for me, the DPM, the speed is right. I think the speed is the same. I mean, we was going, and you was actually going faster than me at one point in one of our games. So I don't know how much difference the speed is, or if
the speed is exactly the same.
Yeah, so I don't understand that, because you was going much quicker than I was. But the gun depression is a big difference. 14 degrees, that's a lot of gun depression, especially when you're on maps like mines. You can really get your gun over, and when in the Kenny Otsu, you can't really get your gun over too much. But I mean, this game here, this is me and you. We're showing the me and you game, and we're just going to focus fire. We're just going to focus fire. And this poor Electo, straight at the start, he's gone. And bear in mind, me and Fizzy are in voice at this point, and we're calling targets. We've called this M5 Stuart. We're both going to focus him. We have, what's your DPM? 2,100 almost? Mine's no. What is that? I can't even remember what the DPM is now.
I'll just check.
But we've got a lot of DPM going into these poor tanks. I think mine's 1,900, I think. Yeah.
920, mine's 1,088.
So yeah, we've got 3,000 roughly DPM going into these poor little seals. So they're not going to last very long, and you can see that Electo didn't last long. The Stuart didn't last long, and now we are just gonna. I mean, Fizzy's gone to the left. I've gone to sort of the right, and we're just gonna sort of pincer them. So the DW2, you can see he's running away. We're just going to use this DPM to completely farm him. We're not getting shot. The DPM, when you're up against tanks that are new, or players that are new to the game, then this tank really, really is fun. But when you come up against tanks or players that know the tank, like me, if I was driving a tier 3 and I come up against a Kenny Otsu, I am going to focus him. I am 100% going to focus that Kenny Otsu. So when you are up against tier 4s that people know how to play, then yeah, this tank is pretty hard to play. But when you're up against players that just don't have a clue and they don't focus you or anything like that, then both of these tanks are really, really fun to play. So if you haven't got the Kini, or if you did have the Kini and you did sell it, I would definitely recommend using 50 gold. That's 1 day's worth of videos. Go and watch 5 videos and you can get this tank back, because it is a fun tank. It's not a Kenny Otsu, but it is equally as good. So you can see here, Fizzy aces his Kini, I ace my Kenny Otsu, double ace, nice and easy. And that is the Kenny versus the Kini. So I hope you all enjoyed the video. Thank you, Fizzy, for coming along. So you're sticking with the Kini as your better tank, but is that because you haven't got the Kenny?
Maybe.
Because you've now played both. You've got a press account, so you've played both. I haven't got the Kenny, but I'm still going for the Kenny. And you're going for the Kini. It's your own opinion. We all have opinions, and that's your opinion. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. I'm Meaty, he's Fizzy, and I'll catch you soon. Bye-bye.